This is it. Who's going to come out the champion? Lights out. And we're underway. Big Gasly comes across us. He's hit us wide. We take it very easy. We're tiptoeing on this runoff area. And I wonder if this is a roll of the dice on behalf of Porsche and Sergio Perez there. Look at this as we come out the pit. Oh my word. We're side by side, wheel to wheel. Unbelievable moment in this race. That is poetry in motion there. Both of us have to get in the points, but there's a red flag. Back down the inside goes Pierre Gasly. Once again, Gasly is thwarting us and getting in the middle of our title fight with Tsunoda as he re-overtakes me. We're down to P8. Tsunoda, where is it? Oh my god, no. No. Yuki Tsunoda, stop that. He's in P1. Look at the gap he's got on the mini-map. Oh, God. Oh, he's cooking. He's absolutely cooking. He's cooking like he's got that restaurant he's always wanted. Because Tsunoda is scoring 26 with a win and fastest lap. So we have to, in this position right now, get P3. The podium will get us the championship, nothing less. The pressure's on. And unlike Porsche, I'm determined not to buckle. It's a massive dive bomb from so far back. So we close up to Bottas. It's a send and a half. We're going to catch the fin napping a little bit. Russell is defending very well. This Ferrari is really holding us up. This is not what we need in this race. And Gasly is holding us up as we... Oh my god, what a move! We were inches away from breaking our front wing there. So we have to make this a clean overtake as we get the traction up the crest, down the hill in the middle of Sector 3. Oh, Joe Guan Yu a bit slow at the curb. Can we get the exit? We can. We got P3 and we're going to get this World Championship! Hello and welcome to this special Sky Sports Bulletin report as we cover all the big headlines in Formula 1 going into 2028. Our top stories tonight. BMW have announced they are joining the F1 grid with a shock partnership deal with the current reigning champions aarava Archer Racing. BMW have been building their own engine secretly for the past 2 years and have offered AAR $100 million to take on their PU and naming rights to the team, believing that AAR are the best outfit that can deliver them potential instant success. This has left AAR's previous technical partner Lamborghini scrambling, but we can confirm our sources have confirmed that the Italian outfit have successfully bid and bought Alpine's F1 slot on the grid. Renault's management cited poor results and a lack of relevancy as factors to their sale. This means both VW-owned brands of Audi and Lamborghini will remain on the grid. For now, that's all, but stay tuned to rev up for another thrilling year of Formula 1. This is the last dance, the final season on this game, so we had to cook something up a little bit special.
For the past 50 years,
we've dared to go our own way. Lap after lap. Corner after corner. And you know what?
we did it fast.
But today isn't just about celebrating our past. It's about celebrating our next race. The future. The future. The future.
Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome to the pre-season episode of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode Season 6. This is going to be the final season we have on F1 23 with My Team Career Mode, and we have pulled out all the stops to try and make it a special one. To end off not only this game cycle before F1 24 comes out at the end of May, but to end off what might be the last My Team series for a little while on the channel at least, because of course on F1 24 the new meta, the new focus will be back on driver career mode as that gets built from the ground up. So this might be a final My Team season for a while in terms of this whole our own team setup, and so we're making the most of it as we enter this final season, all change as we have a completely new brand to partner with. It's BMW. It's a pretty big fan favorite. They are returning to Formula 1, and I hope you guys are loving this livery because I have fallen in love with it whilst designing it. It's basically based off the current BMW hypercar livery that they run in WEC, spliced with a few design nods of previous BMW motorsport liveries and colours and shapes, obviously, and with our own little personal touch, our own little personal sponsors in there, as always. I'm going to go into more details of how I designed this livery in a video tomorrow, actually, so stay tuned for that, but a lot of fun with the BMW livery, because BMW have always been very open to having a very artistic sense when they design their motorsport liveries. They're not afraid to go a little bit outside the box with the way they place sponsors, shapes and colours, etc. So it was a lot of fun to work with, and equally the same for the colours, just the iconic BMW motorsport colours, the M colours, the two different blues and the red work really well with my base helmet design and the overalls. Yeah, it just seems like a match made in heaven, really. And speaking of a match made in heaven, well, my teammate for this final My Team Career Mode season is going to be a real good match for myself as we look to sign Jenson Button, one of the My Team Icon teammates, to our team. I thought, since this really might be the last My Team season for at least the rest of the year, because if we are fully going to be focusing on driver career mode come F1 24, we really might not get the opportunity to play around with My Team Icons for a while. So I thought, for the final season on this game, let's go out with a bang. Yes, maybe it doesn't make so much realistic sense, but who cares? It's the final hurrah with my team on this game, and we are alongside my favourite F1 driver, Jenson Button. And hey, he's just signed up for a full season of WEC, so he's still got what it takes to maybe go out there and do some racing for a whole year. And speaking about the year, here is the Season 6 calendar then. We're going to kick things off with a fan favourite down under at the Australian Grand Prix, then go to Las Vegas for the second round, and then what has become a really amazing staple of a third round at Yas Marina. Who knew the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix would be so good at the start of the season? And then we go into the European portion of the calendar, from Portimao to Imola, Spain. Baku returns for the first time in a long while to this F1 23 series, and then finishing off the first half of the season at Silverstone. Then we go to Austria, Belgium, Monza, Canada, and end in Zandvoort, another track returning to the calendar after a while, and then ending off in a great run of Japan, Jeddah, and then the iconic double header at Sao Paulo, the sprint to the full race, which will be our final My Team Career Mode race on this game to round out the season and the entire series. It's going to be pretty damn awesome. And with that, now we come to the juicy part of this video, where we go through the entire grid and take you through all the different driver transfers and stories going into this next Formula 1 season. So very well documented at the start of this video, but BMW re-enter Formula 1 after wooing us with a massive payday to become our PU supplier. We drop Lamborghini, having just won back-to-back Constructors' Championships with them. We've got 4 to the team's name, game? Can we make it 5 by the end of the game? And for us individually, can we make it a nice even 4 Drivers' World Championships? We're going to have a lot of competition, and what is the fallout going to be from us pretty much dumping Lamborghini, the partners that we were so successful with? You just know there's going to be some bad blood there potentially. But everything must come to an end and change eventually. But one thing that is not changing is Aston Martin's lineup. Yuki Tsunoda, of course, one of our main title rivals last season. He was the one giving us the fight in that final race compared to our teammate Teo Porcher. He's back again with Zhou Guanyu. Obviously, this partnership only formed halfway through last season, so this will be their first full season as teammate Zhou Guanyu and Yuki Tsunoda. They're still repping Repsol as a main sponsor of that Aston Martin car powered by Honda, obviously having that Japanese connection in the power unit and their main F1 driver. I mean, they did so well to be in the title fight. They just couldn't bring it across the line. They started tripping up a little bit in the last few races, especially with Tsunoda losing out on some points that could have seen him take the title. So they're back again, and well, who knows? They're surely going to be big, strong contenders from the get-go. But I think there's going to be stiff competition from this next team, Scuderia Ferrari, with an unreal lineup of Max Verstappen and George Russell. Again, this pairing has only been teammates since the halfway point of Season 5, so this will also be the first full season for Verstappen and Russell to be teammates driving for Ferrari. And of course, Max Verstappen getting that victory last season, galvanizing Ferrari finally, and both drivers seeming to end the season really strongly. You know, Russell was, you know, a thorn in my side in the final race of the season, and it seems like for the first time, the last part of last season, Ferrari finally looked proper competitive, punchy in the races. So if they can hit the ground running, they honestly could maybe overshadow Aston Martin and some other teams at really taking the fight to ourselves as reigning world champions. And for the first season, maybe could we see Ferrari finally in a title fight properly? Well, another team hoping to maybe cause an upset and ruffle some feathers includes, well, an ex-Ferrari driver of Mick Schumacher, of course. He was booted out of Ferrari last season, halfway through the year, and went to Williams, and he actually did incredible. There were some amazing races for Mick Schumacher in that Williams car in the second half of Season 5. They genuinely look really quick. I think they made finally some last few upgrades, and I think the Williams team have actually now maxed out their car. So sky's the limit, and they've still got that, you know, inherent DNA of being very quick in a straight line. That's still even there with maxed out cars. So can Magnussen and Mick Schumacher at certain races really have a sucker punch to the kind of bigger, kind of more established names in Formula 1 in the last couple of years? Obviously, Williams used to be one of the biggest names in the sport. Can they return to former glory potentially with a brand new Gulf livery? They retain the same lineup, though, of Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen. Another team hoping to do the same this season are Andretti Cadillac, because they also showed some signs of big improvements at the end of last season. A few flashes of good qualifyings, maybe not exact amazing race pace to match, but that's something they'll be hoping to try and solve this season with an all-new look car, black and yellow and white trimmings. They keep the same lineup of Sergio Perez and Logan Sargent. Obviously, no shocker, are they going to keep the American driver, but they've opted for stability as one of the newer teams in Formula 1, and that stability may pay out finally in their third year in F1, because they have got near to a maxed out car. So who knows, can this second American team really make a mark on Formula 1 this year? We're going to find out. But now we come to one of the most interesting teams on the grid this year, I'm sure, for you guys, having watched Season 5. Lamborghini, the team we were partnered with, they have now bought Alpine's F1 grid slot, and they are their own separate team away from AAR. And you can see that unbelievable lineup of my two former French teammates, Pierre Gasly and Teo Porcher. Yep, the two Frenchmen have shaken hands and seemingly have made it their mission to team up together to defeat me, their former teammate, both of them failing to beat me in the Drivers' Championship fights in our respective seasons. What a menacing menacing lineup. This is basically our villain lineup. This is Pourchaire. We just went up against him. Gasly, our bitter rival from the previous season. They're together now at the newly formed Lamborghini team that are separate away from AAR now. That is going to be a pretty crazy development, and it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes for them. Of course, this is all thanks to that synergy of VW owning both Audi and Lamborghini as car brands, so it didn't take much persuading for Audi to let go of Gasly's services to come across to the newly formed independent Lamborghini team alongside Théo Pourchaire, who, of course, Pourchaire clearly was very loyal to Lamborghini, a lot more loyal than I was, but, you know, needs must, need for change, but those two are going to be very happy together, I'm sure, under the same roof. But Gasly, moving across from Audi to Lamborghini, left his seat open alongside Carlos Sainz, and look at this. What a nice reunion this is, as Leclerc... This man is just as unloyal as I am, it would seem, because he's jumped ship again from Mercedes, and he's gone to Audi, and they've recombined as teammates. Leclerc and Carlos Sainz are once again teammates, but now under the slightly brighter red and black and white of Audi Sport. And those of you who watch my F1 22 series might also see that they've got a very familiar looking car and livery. Is this a nice little nod to last game's Audi livery that I ran? You know, like I said, potentially one of the last My Team seasons for a little while, so I wanted to bring back some of the greatest hits, including one of my favourite liveries from F1 22's My Team career series for Audi here in this season. We now move to Mercedes. The silver arrows back in silver, at least half silver, and they have now got a hole to plug, because it was Leclerc and Bottas last year. Now it's Esteban Ocon and Bottas for this final season on this game. Obviously, Ocon was at Alpine. They've been bought out by Lamborghini, so Ocon was a free agent. Mercedes scrambling for someone to go alongside Valtteri Bottas. Mercedes, they've had a real tough time of it on this game. They really haven't looked as competitive as they did since Lewis Hamilton won that 8th championship earlier in the series. Let's see if they have any better luck in this final season. Alfa Romeo Haas remain on the grid. I can't lie, there was a close call for Lamborghini to buy this team's grid slot, but obviously they did have some flashes of genius. Obviously, one race win last season with Felipe Drugovich winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but since then they really fell flat in Season 5. So Season 6, I think their job is to try and remain consistent, because they started off so well. They started off in the top 3 in R&D terms, but unfortunately for them, other teams just upgraded rapidly, and with fully maxed out cars for I think pretty much every single team on the grid now, it means that just with the way the game works out, Haas are a little bit lower down the pecking order with the maxed out cars, but they've got a strong Brazilian lineup of Drugovich and Fittipaldi, who are both growing well. They're both highly focused, and even when things weren't going well for them in the second half of last season, when things clicked in those moments of brilliance, they could still pull off some great results, and that's what they'll be hoping to do once again in Season 6. And finally, we come to the last two teams on this grid. It's Red Bull, Ford and McLaren, two former teams that were consistently just the only two AI teams I was fighting for the championship. But last season, thankfully, something just changed. The pecking order really jumbled up, and Red Bull McLaren moved down the order. This season, I'm sure Lando Norris will want to try and assert his dominance as the team leader, as he suffered some real poor qualifyings last season for this team, and Liam Lawson, we're just hoping they can continue to do the good work he was doing. 96 focus, so he's raring to go. He was one of our former title rivals in Season 4, but you know, it just hasn't panned out for Red Bull in the last season, so they'll be hoping for a bit of an uptick of performance, and the same will be for McLaren, who retain Oscar Piastri and Alexander Albon. A really exciting lineup. Obviously, Piastri, a former world champion in this entire F1 23 series, but they actually suffered even more than Red Bull last season with the pecking order change and the R&D change. change. So they had a really quiet season last time out. Can they end off on this game, getting back into the fight? They've got an all-new, brand-new look car. So for their sake, they'll be hoping for an all-new looking type of performance as well. But that is the brand new grid then for this final My Team Career Mode season on F1 23. Like I've said many times, this really could be one of the last My Team seasons we do this year, depending on how much focus there will be on driver career mode in F1 24. So hoping to go out with a bang with our own Creator Team Career Mode season for one final time, partnered with BMW. We've had some fantastic driver transfers, some exciting stories in there, especially Lamborghini going up against ourselves now as an independent team on their own 2 feet, including my 2 former teammates. That's going to be exciting. The return of, Tsunoda and Aston Martin, that Ferrari, Verstappen, Russell combo, and maybe many, many other stories involved in this upcoming season. Hopefully you guys are excited. If you are, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Fall On content, and I'll see you guys next time for this start of the end, The Last Dance Season 6, out later this week. Goodbye.